I don't want to talk about Corey Feldman. I don't want to talk about Corey Feldman. I don't want to talk about Corey Feldman. Hey, Internet. Eric here. Oh, I don't want to talk about Corey Feldman. Well, gained a lot of subscribers lately. Thank you. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've made videos on Corey Feldman. I literally, when I started making videos on Corey, I only wanted to make one. And it got popular. And then, he blocked me. And then I had to deal with a little bit of his trolling. So I made a second one talking about how that would have been my last Corey video. Because I just wanted to give kind of like a weird update of having to deal with that stuff. Didn't plan on making a third one, but subscribers kept saying, hey, make a third one. Make a third one. So I made a third one, and that one's over like 1,300 views now, and I said that one was going to be my last Corey Feldman video. Here I am, making a fourth one. Because the internet wants me to make a fourth one. It's like, if you've ever seen Wes Craven's New Nightmare, there's a scene where Heather Langenkamp is in the offices of New Line Cinema, talking to Bob Shea. Like, he's the CEO of New Line Cinema. They're, catching up after all the times, and Bob's, got Heather sat down, they're having a cup of coffee, catching up after all the years. And Bob looks at Heather, and he says, how would you like to come back? I'm paraphrasing. How would you like to come back? She says, I thought you killed Freddie off. Bob says, well, we did, but the fans, God bless them, they're clamoring for more. So I'm Heather Langenkamp right now. So, to prepare for talking about Corey for a fourth time, this is my last time. I was thinking to myself, what do I want to talk about since I don't want to talk about Corey? Because he's not relevant anymore. He's not doing anything, well, I was going to say important, but he hasn't done anything worthwhile talking about. Really, I could talk about how now apparently someone came out against him for sexual misconduct, and it's filing a report. I thought that was kind of funny. Don't know if it's true. Not much else. I could talk about how, again, nothing. He's trying to create a second Indiegogo campaign, which has failed miserably. It just ended the other day, and I think it ended up at 1% of its intended goal. Something else. What the fuck can I talk about that I haven't talked about this fool? I remember when he went off on some Periscope video about the Golden Globes. Now, this was a month ago, so it's not relevant anymore, but Corey hasn't been relevant since, the early 90s. So it's okay. So, even though I'm blocked by Corey on Twitter, I'm not blocked on Facebook, and someone told me that he did this video of this little crybaby rant about the Golden Globes and Me Too and A Tale of Two Coreys and this and that. So I checked it out and I scrolled down and wrote some notes. That was like 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back. There we go. Actually, it's been a few days, so I don't remember a bunch of what he fucking said, but again, thanks to the notes. Second page of notes. There you go. Okay, so I remember the video starts, and he's shooting the video at his wife's feet. So, because he doesn't know how to use a camera. He's been in film this long. He's directed a movie. Doesn't know how to use a fucking phone to film a video. Finally figures out how to turn it around. We see him close up, and he looks ragged. He looks like I said, this came out like January 8th. So literally like a month ago. But at the time, he filmed this, he looked ragged. He looked like he hadn't slept in probably 3 or 4 days. I don't know why. He hasn't shaven, and it's not like I can say anything, but, normally when you see Corey, he's trying to look nice and this and that. He hasn't looked like he's got a 2-day, 5 o'clock shadow. And then as he starts to talk, the video cuts out. And we miss a bunch of information he's trying to say. But then he goes on and he says that he's going to write some type of report about how he knows that all of this hatred, all of these, haters are on the internet who don't believe his cause and blah, 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 are coming from one direct source. And he has figured that out. And he's going to write a report. Well, it's now the beginning of February. The report hasn't been written. Then he goes on to talk about The Tale of Two Coreys, the Lifetime movie that he executive produced, I believe. It's not choreography, the movie, not the one that he's trying to raise money for. He's very adamant about that. And I remember when I first made my first Corey video, someone contacted me and said, he's already got a film in the can. He's raising these funds for a movie that'll never get made. Plus, he's already got, this Lifetime movie made. I said to this person, well, Corey is smarter than he looks, because he looks very dumb, but he's smarter than he looks because the way he's worded it with this campaign is he wants to raise funds to get a theatrical film. So that way, he's not technically lying when Tale of Two Coreys came out, because he wants his film to be theatrical. He talks to Tale of Two Coreys, and he says it's not the whole truth. So you're admitting that a film you did visit the set. You said you visited the set for one day, and your name is attached. You executive produced it or just produced it. I don't fucking know. But now you're saying it's not the whole truth. So your name is attached to something that is not totally true. You said it was a nice movie for the small budget it has. You said the actors were great. You said, this was great, that was great, blah, blah, blah. So you're praising it after you're saying it's not the whole truth. And you say the problems were because, I haven't watched it yet, and I say yet because I've been asked to review it. And sadly for this channel, people ask me to review things, I do it. I'm a glutton for punishment. He said his home life wasn't right because I guess in the movie it made it seem like he was an only child when he is one of 5 siblings, 6 siblings, don't know, don't care. And he says the abuse was worse. I guess in the movie, all the mom did was say, take his food away and tell him he better be practicing his lines. When I guess in real life, she would grab him by the throat and throw him against the wall and say, you better learn your lines, mister, or you won't eat for 2 weeks because you're fat. Okay. No child should go through abuse like that. But, Corey, come on. Abuse is abuse. And you say that we need to see the real pain and terror that you went through. You said Tale of Two Coreys was just a fantasy of what you went through. Because you say a network is afraid of taking chances on the real abuse. Have you ever seen a Lifetime movie, Corey? Have you ever seen, especially the Lifetime movies from the 90s, when I grew up, when I was forced to watch them in health class and stuff like that? You had murder, you had rape, you had women being physically abused, you saw the bruises, you saw the punches thrown, the shoves down the stairs. You saw that stuff in the 90s on Lifetime. So don't tell me you could not film a child being choked or starved or beaten or whatever type of abuse you suffered at the hands of your parents. I don't know. I didn't read your crappy book, so I don't know exactly what they did because you won't say it. But you saying that the network TV is afraid is bullshit, okay? Because Lifetime has been around for a long fucking time, dude, and there's no way that they're afraid to show this type of abuse. What else? Let's see here. You also said the network was also afraid of if you used real people's names. I don't know. Then you mentioned that because you need proof and you need real names and facts and this and that, so you're going, and that's why you need money for legal fees and this and that. Then you mention, because you got to have proof that these things happened, because you say, what if a kid said that this stuff happened and is just making stuff up for attention? What if somebody made some stuff up for attention? Sound familiar, Corey? You seem to be really needing attention lately. I don't know. You said Corey Haim didn't go into a trailer with a guy. Okay, and that's how they were promoting the film, because it's about the molestation and the drugs and the bad stuff that they had to deal with. And they kept promoting young Corey Haim, whatever the actor who played him. They showed him going into a trailer with his molester. And you said that did not happen. Well, I mean, it's a movie that is based on true events, so they're going to have to change it a little bit. They're going to have to make it dramatic. You know that a lot of this is going to deal with Corey Haim's molestation. Well, they want to get the attention of the audience, so right away, Corey Haim got molested in that scene. So it's just an easier way to tell the story, my opinion. But then you also say, what happened, and you will tell it in your movie. You can tell it now, Corey. You can tell us now how it really happened. But you're going to tell it in a movie that might not get made because your campaign is over with. And you say you'll not do another one. Alright, what else? Alright, he's done with Tale of Two Corys. Thank Christ. Now he mentions the Golden Globes. And he said how he lives like 2 blocks away from the Golden Globes and they didn't invite him. And he felt upset because of what he's done in the industry and blah, blah, blah. And no one cares. Whatever. More baby crying, more poor me bullshit. Then he brings up Rose McGowan because I guess I didn't fucking watch it because I hate award shows. I don't watch Golden Globes. I don't watch the Oscars. I don't watch the MTV Awards. I don't watch the Grammys. I don't even watch the fucking Super Bowl. None of that, those big time events, I don't give a shit about. So I guess they were doing all this Me Too stuff, the hashtag Me Too, bringing a lot of the women were wearing black, I think, in support of the women that have been either sexually harassed or sexually abused over the years in Hollywood. And you bring up Rose McGowan because she is probably, at least from what it seems like, she's the leader of this movement. She's the one who, I think she's the biggest name that came out against Harvey Weinstein and his rape, actions, whatever. And then you talk about how you trash talk her because she was on a Howard Stern interview with you and she made fun of you. Okay, you actually say she attacked you in the interview. Jesus fucking Christ, dude! I've seen the Howard Stern interview. Go right now, pause this video, go on YouTube right here since you're already on it. Type in Rose McGowan, Corey Feldman, Howard Stern interview. You'll see what the fuck he's talking about. He was there promoting something. I think it was another album. She was there. Promoting a movie, I don't know. It was at the time when she was just engaged to Marilyn Manson. And they mentioned that Rose is in the waiting room, green room, whatever it's called. Corey says something. And I don't know if he per se trash talks her, but he trash talks Marilyn Manson because I didn't like what he said about me in his book. Marilyn Manson said something about Corey's shitty singing in his autobiography. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So, Howard being Howard, he wants controversy, he wants good radio, brings in Rose, she sits down, and she's very civil until you bring up Marilyn Manson, you start trash-talking him. She's defending her fiancé, dude. That's all it is. She did not attack you. You started it by running your fucking mouth. And then you say that, what did you say? You said because she made jokes about... You said something to Marilyn, or you said something about Marilyn, and then she came back, said something about Michael Jackson, and then she said, well, you're the one who's sleeping in his bed. she wasn't necessarily making fun of Michael, dude. She was making fun of you because you're a punk. And the thing is, she was also sticking up for her fiance because you were trash talking him first. That's what it was. She didn't attack you, dude. It was retaliation for you being a little bitch. Now, then I literally right here, bitches about him not getting invited because he's done over 100 films. Jesus Christ, I don't know how many films you've done, Corey, but it could be 100. I mean, you're not Christopher Lee, dudes, but how many of those have been theatrical since 1998? Okay, your last theatrical movie that I can think of was Bordello of Blood, which fucking bombed. And your last hit that was in the theaters was, I think, 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you only did the voice. Everything else I think has been straight to video. Off the top of my head, Voodoo, straight to video. Blown Away with Nicole Eggert and Corey Haim, straight to video. I just fucking watched Citizen Toxic Avenger 4, straight to video, where you were Kinky Finkelstein. As much as I do enjoy the two Lost Boys sequels, straight to video. So you may have done over 100 films, dude, but when was the last time you done anything of merit? Bordello of Blood? Ninja Turtles? So why should you be invited? Let's see. Next I have, you mentioned that Corey Haim was not in the In Memoriam segment of the Golden Globes. And then he wasn't at the Oscars. That was a big fuck up by them. And then you say it was like he was forgotten or didn't exist. You could be sticking up for your friend. That could be why you're acting all frustrated and mad. But he's not the first person that they've forgotten. They didn't mention Brad Renfro when he OD'd either. Sorry, Corey. It's sad that they did not mention Corey Haim, but he's not the first and he won't be the last. So you're probably just saying this so you can seem like you're defending your friend. Alright, thank God. I'm almost done. Alright. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Me. You don't want to acknowledge me, but you at least could have invited me. Alright, you say the evil that you are fighting. You know, this is all the negativity that's coming towards you online, questioning your campaign. It's connected to one source. You're going to reveal it in an op-ed. I honestly don't know what an op-ed is, but you kept using that. And then you say that they're damaging the word of God. They're working for the dark force, and they're destroying God's credibility and your credibility. They're destroying the word. They're damaging the word of God. You, Corey, keep throwing in God and saying that you are doing God's work. Now, Corey was, when you were in with the angels and having them dressed like prostitutes, showing off their tits and their ass, taking them around town to do music, were you doing God's work then? All your drug abuse, God's work. Calling people pedophile supporters just because they don't support you, God's work. Dude, you just throwing out the word of God, and it's becoming a joke. Like, even on his Facebook page, instead of saying actor, instead of saying musician, executive producer, author, Corey has put for his occupation as servant of God. I'm sorry, dude. That takes away all credibility when you are fighting for something. It's like saying your education, you got at the School of Hard Knocks. It's something a fucking elementary school or middle school person would do. So quit using the whole God's work shit. And now then you mentioned, I think you're talking about the abuse the angels did, or some former angels are coming out talking about, and you said how it's false, and you have every right to defend yourself, as you should, and you say you've been walked on many times because of your love of women. You would never do any of this stuff to women because you love them, you respect them, you always open doors for them, which is why you have them scantily clad and performing for you at parties. Don't know. And you're now saying it's a conspiracy against you like it was a conspiracy against Michael Jackson. Well, not really a conspiracy against you, Corey, when a lot of people are putting two and two together and finding out facts, doing research. You go back to talking about the Lifetime movie, who cares? You say there's satanic darkness in Hollywood. Once again, satanic forces, God, Hollywood. You're using these words because it attracts so much attention. What's the most evil thing you can think about? The devils. You're going to talk about Satan. The most positive thing you can think about, God. You're going to use that for your side. Shut the fuck up. Then, finally, you go back to needing donations. You say the movie will get made regardless. It might just take longer without crowdfunding. No fucking shit. Or it just might never get made. Think about that, people. All of you people that have donated to Corey, you know, hoping to be an executive producer, to get on set, to get even a signed fucking DVD, you might not get it. I don't think you get your monies back after, even if the campaign is unsuccessful. You said God is on your side, and you are working for God. You say the dark side and the Satanists are out there, and they follow Satan. Of course, if they're Satanists, wouldn't they follow Satan? They're all coming from the same source. Once again, you keep mentioning the same source, but you haven't said who this source is in over a month. And then you end it saying, and it's 26 minutes and 30 seconds. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, it felt like 40 minutes like I thought. You end the video, once again, with these words. I need you. The children need you. So let's throw the children in it. And then God needs you. Okay, thank you. I'm done with the fucking notes. So, again, like I said, Corey is now using the children as a guilt trip to get you to donate the money. Corey is using God. He's now a televangelist. You know, send me $500. The Lord needs your help. Because he knows there are some people crazy enough out there to send you money because it's God's work. If you're a supporter of Corey Feldman, I have no problem. But look at some of this stuff, okay? Don't look at it through a fan's eyes. Look at it through a normal person's eyes. This is my 4th video about this shit. Look at the past ones I've done with an open mind. Put 2 and 2 together. Look how shady this stuff is, all right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. I'm dumb as they come, and I'm figuring this shit out. There you go, Internet. Per your request, there's my 4th video on Corey Feldman. I'm done. I'm not talking about his crazy ass ever again. Unless he gets hit by those monster trucks that he say are chasing him, or a fucking UFO comes down and takes him back up to his home planet. I'm not talking about him no more. I may make a quip about him on Twitter. I may, respond to a funny meme about him. I'm not making any more videos about this fruitcake, okay? I'm sorry if those are the only reasons why you subscribe to my channel. You're going to be disappointed because I'm done with this loser. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, click the bell, whatever. Cheers.